So we want to introduce Jimmy from Tom's Ford Auto Parts. Have some background on his business and I'll let him tell a couple stories. So his eBay user ID is Tom's Ford Auto Parts. They've been on eBay since May of 2003. He has 18,416 feedbacks, 99.6% of which is positive. As of 2 days ago, he had 26,429 items listed on our site in categories such as alternators, drive shafts, power steering pumps, transmissions, window switches, so all across the board. Tom's Ford is one of our platinum power sellers and a top eBay parts and accessories seller and one of the top 5 recycler accounts on eBay. The next slide, if you're following along, is a sort of a snapshot of their eBay store. And if you've been to Tom's website, you'll see that their eBay store actually looks very much like their normal e-commerce stores. That's one of the keys to their success is they have branding elements and consistency and professional layouts on all of their online presence. The next slide is basically a clip of actual feedback for this account. So I mean, the last transactions was a Lexus ES300 taillight that sold for $80. We shipped it, they loved it. There's a whole page of actual things and actual feedback that this account has received that you can check out. So let me let Tom talk about this. Okay. So the history of Tom's Ford Auto Parts is that 10 years ago, they already had a website, which was actually pretty revolutionary, with pictures, but there wasn't transaction underneath. So back in 2003, 6 years ago, 100% of their business was offline, which is, somebody calling you, somebody walking in, somebody seeing a part of the paper, and, getting in touch with you. Right? So today, about 1/3 of the sales are online at eBay Motors, and in the same period, his business has doubled. So it's grown both online and offline, and they moved from 100% offline to 1/3 online. And when they started, it was a couple of people, including Jimmy's wife, who sort of kind of, tried it out, did it part-time, checked it out, see what would happen, and now they support 2.5 full-time people working on just their eBay business. So now, I'll have Jimmy talk.
We started eBay about 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, and we were just putting odds and ends on. And my wife really wanted to start making some money for the company. She always did the checkbook and took care of all the bookkeeping. And I went underneath the counter and I got boxes of owner's manuals. You just said, you want to put something on here, try these. Within the first 9 months, she sold 900 owner's manuals. So we were more closer? Yeah, she sold about 900 owner's manuals in the first 9 months. So we knew we were onto something. Since then, we started just adding inventory. About 4 years ago, we hired a full-time person, Dan, to do the listings, and he did a tremendous amount of automation, and that helped a tremendous amount. And eBay sells everything. eBay totally changed our business, night and day. It pays all our payroll, pays a tremendous amount of bills, that income that we would never had before. We have cats that are born in our yard, and my wife was coming down the hill with our bucket of cat food and an ashtray, and she says to me, this was pretty early on, she says, "You think I should put this ashtray on?" And I says, "Don't even waste your time, because it takes a little while to put stuff on." She says, "Well, I'm going to try it anyway." Well, she got like $60 for a Range Rover ashtray. So then she had the guys from the garage start giving her ashtrays. We started selling ashtrays like crazy for $30, $40, $50, $60, which you would say, how would somebody even buy an ashtray? But if somebody buys a used car, they even think somebody smoked in that car. They don't want that ashtray. And they go to eBay and they find it on eBay. The other kind of odd thing that we sell is one of the dismantlers dismantle cars. We throw the bolts. We specialize in just foreign cars. So we throw the bolts in buckets. And we sell 25 pounds of bolts for $1 a pound. And we sell 3, 4, 5 buckets a week of miscellaneous used metric foreign nuts and bolts. So absolutely everything sells on eBay. We do have most of our inventory on eBay now. And our success is the customer service and making sure that all the customers are happy. So, yeah.
Thank you, Jimmy. So this is an example of what, you know, they've gone from owner's manuals, which are literally dust covered and in boxes underneath the counter for years that turned into thousands of dollars, and now they're one of our top sellers on eBay. So we're very happy to have great sellers like him. So what does it take to succeed on eBay? A good source of the right supply, which I think all of you have. Selling strategies that work, and I think we've talked about some best practices now, and you've heard some examples from Jimmy. Digitize inventory information, so that's where the Hollander partnership comes in. As you use your desktop systems, a lot of the information is already cataloged and pre-filled. Product knowledge and expertise, which is what your parts counter and sales guys do all day long when somebody calls in to ask something, do you have it, will it fit, does it do this? You'll need a process to answer questions and fulfill orders, because this is not a face-to-face transaction, right? Somebody's going to be emailing you or calling you, asking about, you know, an O2 Chrysler or whatever, or a 98 Buick, whatever. So you're going to have to be able to communicate via email and phone and dedicate, you know, part of somebody's time at least to taking care of the customer service issue on eBay. And a scalable listing and auction management solution. So we suggest that you go ahead and get started. We've got 2 account managers here in the red. We've got Steve and Ramin. We're going to have another sort of eBay basics session at 4 in meeting group D. So if you want to learn more about details like auction format, store format, fees, etc., you can go to their session and they can help you sign up. But we suggest you go ahead and get an eBay account and a PayPal account. Find something laying around like the ashtray or a bucket of bolts and see what happens and get familiar with it. And then as Hollander works to build their tool, we're going to be basically soliciting more and more feedback from successful eBay sellers like Jimmy. And we're going to basically co-build this thing that's going to really work for the whole industry. So the next page is just a form that shows you what sort of information you'll need to register on eBay.com and PayPal.com. And if you have any more questions, feel free to come by either the eBay Motors booth, which is just inside, or the Hollander booth, which is in the hall adjacent. Thank you.